Hi crafty friends, in today's video I am so excited to share with you guys 10 DIY Dollar Tree Christmas wreaths. These are going to be several different styles, very easy to do. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm having a huge I Love Christmas series, so you guys don't want to miss out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns. Get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Let's create a stunning traditional Christmas wreath using Dollar Tree supplies. So grab one of those Dollar Tree wreaths and fluff out every single branch. Then add a garland by crossing the branches over on themselves to really make it a little bit more full. The next thing I want to do is grab 2 rolls of Dollar Tree Deco mesh. I'm going to cut each piece in 10 inches. Cut 2 rolls in 10-inch cuts. The next thing I'm going to do is cut 2 rolls of ribbon from Dollar Tree in 8-inch cuts. Then I'm going to take and burrito 2 of pieces of my mesh, pinch them together in between my fingers, and then add a piece of each ribbon. This ribbon isn't wired, but it's pretty good for this type of wreath. The next thing I want to do is just take a zip tie and zip tie my little bundle. I'm going to take all of my supplies, so 2 rolls of Deco mesh and 2 rolls of ribbon. The Deco mesh was cut at 10 inches and the ribbon was cut at 8 inches. And I'm going to bundle all of these using zip ties. And I want to go ahead and bundle these all together. I'm going to go ahead and take and pre-bundle all of my mesh and ribbon together. So again, you just bundle 2 pieces of mesh and then 2 pieces of ribbon with a zip tie, fluff it out. Next, I'm going to take my little garland and place it on top of this square wreath form. You can use a square wreath form or a circle wreath form. You want to zip tie it in 4 different places so it doesn't move around. That's going to give us somewhere to put our mesh. Now, this is going to be kind of magical, trust the process. So I'm going to take 3 of my bundles and bundle them on each corner. So you see I'm doing the first bundle, and you want to bundle them and zip tie them on the inner rung. So not the outside one, not the inside one, but the center one. Okay, so I'm taking 3 bundles. I did 1 on the end and then 2 on each side. So you're going to make 3 bundles on each corner. I hope that makes sense. Maybe just watch the process. But we don't need any on the edges because we're going to fill that out with some ornaments. This is kind of a good little wreath hack that you guys can make. This is under $20 using Dollar Tree supplies, except for the ribbon that we're going to make the big bow with, because we do need wired ribbon for that. And again, just take your bundles, add 3 on each side, and if you come short a little bit and just need to use some mesh, do that too. That's fine. Okay, so now we're going to take some of this value ribbon from Hobby Lobby, giant roll for about $9, and I think it was probably half that. I'm going to take and I'm going to make a 16-inch loop, okay? So super easy. You guys can totally do this. This is my easy Olivia bow. You just take that ribbon and you loop it over on itself, and it's 16 inches long. You want to do that 4 times, or you can do it 6 times, depending upon how you want your ribbon to look, but 4 times is really enough. Now we're going to make a 14-inch loop, okay? So we started out with that 16-inch loop, now we're going to make a 14-inch loop. And to make those loops, guys, you just take the ribbon, loop it over on itself. You guys can do this. I promise anybody can do this. This is for a bow challenge person. This is why I came up with this. Now I'm going to make a 12-inch set of loops, okay? So again, for each set of loops, you loop them over on themselves 4 times, and then you're going to take all your little loops and you're going to stack them together. Super easy peasy. Now I'm just going to find my center, take a zip tie it in the center. You guys have this. I can't wait to see all your bows. You guys can totally do a beautiful holiday bow. Okay, now we're going to cut the back of the zip tie off, and we just want to fluff out our loops. You're not even going to see the zip tie because once we get into this wreath, no worries. So really kind of pre-fluff your bow, but hey, we're going to fluff this a couple of more times. So deep breaths. Here's how it looks. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to take and make 16 inch tails, but really they need to be 32. So you take it, and this cutting mat is 16 inches. You just loop it over on itself. So that's 32-inch tails. I made 2 of those and then decided I wanted to make 1 more set of tails. So I'm going to wrap it over now 3 times. So 32 plus 16, somebody do the math for me. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and bundle that together and zip tie that all together. Super easy. We've got our pretty bow. We have our little tails. Now I'm going to dovetail the ends. You take your ribbon, you just cross it over on itself, and then cut that little triangle in the top. Now zip tie that to the top of your wreath. Fluffy out that bow, okay? Hey, look how gorgeous this is already looking. Now we want to make it look more Christmassy and fun and traditional. So I'm using these 2 giant ornaments from Dollar Tree, and then some of those small ornaments. So you probably want to buy 2 packs of ornaments, red and gold or red and green, whatever you guys like. And you just want to fill your wreath out. I'm using them off to the side because that's where you can kind of see where there's greenery. We still want to see a little bit of greenery, but we want to fill it in a little bit because we have those bundles of mesh and ribbon off to the sides. I added a Dollar Tree ribbon to the top, that pretty red and gold one, and then some more to the bottom, and bam, look at this gorgeous wreath. I know that we made this for under $20. It turned out absolutely stunning. We have plenty of ribbon left over to add to our Christmas tree or garlands or whatnot. You may even have some ornaments left over if you didn't use all of your ornaments. We did this on a total budget. I think it looks so high end, and in fact, I think that I have landed on a theme for this season. I think I'm going to do some traditional Christmas in my home. So I can't wait to share with you guys. You're going to be able to find all of these supplies so fun and fabulous on a total budget, and I hope you guys are loving it. Let me share with you guys how to make a beautiful snowy wreath for about $5. So from the Dollar Tree, you're going to grab 3 feather dusters from the mop section and cut those in half. You're only going to need 3 for this project, and then one of their styrofoam wreath base forms. Next thing you want to do is simply add some hot glue in and around the wreath base and pinch the feather duster together. You're going to continue to work your way around your styrofoam wreath form, gluing and pinching as you continue to work around the entire wreath form. This is super easy. Now you do want to hold on to the little feather duster and make sure that the glue sets up so you can do a little dance. Benji Bear and I were playing some music in my Christmas crafting studio and having such a fun time today. So you're just going to continue to work your way around and try to make sure that your seams line up really well. And this, just having the feather dusters on here, is really beautiful. I can see myself making these for some of my smaller windows or even cabinets. So budget friendly and really just fun and easy to make, you guys. I will tell you though, those feather dusters do shed a little bit, and so you might want to have a little dustpan and broom on hand. So here is how it turns out. Now you can spend a couple of extra dollars if you want and zhuzh it up a bit. From the Dollar Tree, I found these cute, adorable little snowman ornaments. I feel like it's the little snow lady and her snow guy, and I just hot glued them at the bottom and popped them into the wreath. Then I'm going to make a quick little easy Olivia bow. So you're just going to measure it from your elbow to your hand and make 4 ribbon loops. So ribbon loops, you just loop that ribbon over on itself, you find the center, pinch it together, and then you can zip tie it or use a pipe cleaner or floral wire to hold it all together. I'm using a pipe cleaner because it really helps out with my carpal tunnel, not to be tying small fine motor things. So anyway, I'm just going to pipe cleaner this right here in the center, super easy. And then you guys can make some tails for your bow, or you can add some Christmas ornaments to the center of your bow. I cut a small bit of tails and I'm going to tie those off in the center. And then once I have that finished, I took and I made a little shoelace bow with some red and white check ribbon, and that's going to kind of pull in the red that's in the snow people, but it's not going to overtake the wreath too much. Now remember, any designs that I share with you guys in any of my crafts, if you don't like the colors that I'm using, you guys can always choose your own ribbon colors that will match your home decor. Super easy to change out the ribbon and the paint colors. And here is how it turned out. I also added a little snowball to the center. So fun and fabulous. And I was actually attending my niece's volleyball game, and my mom was watching me edit this, and she was like, "Liv, I'm going to make one." For this Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to make a super adorable little Christmas gnome using one of those Dollar Tree witch hats. So from the Dollar Tree, you're going to pick up one of the little witch hat wreath forms and remove all of the tinsel. It's super easy to do. And then once you have that done, you're going to take your scissors and run them down the side and get those little kind of side pieces off of there. The next thing I'm doing is taking some of this Dollar Tree buffalo check plaid fabric. I'm going to wrap it around the top part of the little witch hat, trim off the excess fabric. We'll use that for another project, and then continue to hot glue the fabric in and around the witch hat wreath form. This is such a fun idea, and I actually saw this, gosh, on another DIY somewhere, but they did a fall gnome, so I was thinking to myself today, hey, let's do a Christmas gnome. So anyway, I'm going to take this little Dollar Tree Christmas tree and wrap it around the base of my little witch hat, and then I'm going to take some puffy snow, and this is actually pillow fill fluffing, and I'm just going to gently begin to tuck it into the evergreen. You can add a little dab of hot glue in there. It sticks into the evergreen pretty well, and if you're just going to have it hanging on your wall, it's not really necessary to just completely hot glue it really hard. I did add some dibble dabbles of hot glue though, and then I'm going to continue to fill in the Christmas tree form here to make the gnome's wreath. Now, I had one of these Dollar Tree large puffy balls. It's actually like a little bunny rabbit ball, but you guys can grab these at the craft store or at Dollar Tree, or you can just make your own. And then I'm going to add in some more puffy, fluffy, bearded snow to kind of try to get it a little bit more even. And you really want to just kind of play around with this. But how adorable is this? It's only a couple of bucks, especially if you have an old pillow laying around. And then I'm going to add in a cute little Dollar Tree bow to the top part of his hat. And then I'm going to use some of this Dollar Tree rope mesh tubing, and I'm going to make a big giant fluffy bow. I'm going to hot glue that to the base of my hat, pop that in, and then bam, we have the most adorable little Christmas gnome. I think he's so cute, loads of personality. And then I'm even going to add these cute little snowflakes to the center of the bow, and voila, we have a fabulous little gnome wreath on a total budget. I hope you guys are inspired and are loving this one. Let me know what you think about it. I really wanted to make one of these for a while, and I thought he came out super cute. And just think, you guys could always customize his hat to any color that you love, whatever you're decorating for. And I'll try to think of an idea if you haven't found the Dollar Tree Witch Hat wreath forms of what we can use. I'll be turning my wheels on that one, but super fun, fabulous on a budget. How to make a super adorable little Christmas rag wreath using a Dollar Tree dog blanket. That's right, Dollar Tree has put out some dog blankets, and I'm going to take this one, fold in half, and then cut this apart at the half folded spot. So this is a Dollar Tree mini wreath form. They come in a 2 to 3 pack, I believe, and then I'm going to cut this again, and that's going to give me the perfect size to make my little rag wreath. Now, I got this idea actually from my sweet sister-in-law. Apparently, my nieces are watching my videos. So, hey girls, Bethany and Karis, I love you so, so much. But Katie said that she was afraid of the glue gun, so she was making a rag wreath. Now, I've shown you guys rag wreaths before on my channel. I'm not for sure if they got the idea from my channel or from something else, but I just want to give a shout out to my sweet little nieces, Bethany and Karis, and my sweet sister-in-law, Katie. So now I'm going to tie my little flannel rag pieces onto the center prong of my wreath form. This is so easy. Again, no glue required, which we absolutely love, especially when it comes to kiddos and grandkids. Or if you just want something fun to do, you can make a large one of these. Just pop down in front of your TV or put on some beautiful music and have fun. That's what I'm doing, is listening to music, which is what I do when I craft and film these videos for you guys. Sometimes I listen to mysteries too. I like mysteries and I like music. So, and sometimes podcasts. Anyway, again, I'm just continuing to tie, and I will say there's about 12 to 14 ties on each little rung. And so what you can do is you can tie on all of your little ties on the first section and then count how many you needed, and then kind of count out to see if you have enough to use. And that's what I did with this. And I did not think that I was going to have enough, but I ended up actually having more than enough. So I was excited about that. But just keep tying and kind of squishing them together. They don't have to be super tight, but you do want them to cover the other part of the wreath. And actually this did. So I only had to make a layer on the center rung, and that covered both sides of it. Now with the larger wreath form, you might have to make 2 rows if you want a really full fluffy wreath, but here's how it looks. I think it looks so adorable. Now I'm going to take these little bows from the Dollar Tree and this cute little sign, and this is just a mini sign from Walmart. They come in a 4-pack, and I'm using the Noelle sign because my daughter's middle name is Noelle. I'm going to surprise and give this to her for her room to decorate for Christmas, but how adorable did this come out? I feel like this is so inexpensive. It's so cute and crafty and homey and cozy because of the textures. And then you can choose if you want to put a little sign or bow at the top, or you can just have the rack wreath. But I think this is a fun and fabulous idea for you guys on a budget. I want you guys to get creative, do something that's just can bring you and your family together, and go for it. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super easy, fun Dollar Tree Deco mesh. So from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to use 5 rolls of their Deco mesh and this large oversized wreath form. This is just a little bit bigger than the regular 12-inch one that they have. I think it's 14 inches, maybe 16. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Deco mesh and some of these little zip ties, and I'm just going to zip tie at each prong and just kind of pull little poofs out. So the poofs are about 10 inches probably, and you're just going to pull those poofs out and then zip tie where the little line or prong meets in the wreath. I hope that makes sense, and you want to zip tie around it so it doesn't move around. So I'm also doubling up on my mesh using the red and the green. I was thinking this would also be fun for a Grinch wreath. I don't have any Grinch signs or anything, but I know that Hobby Lobby is showing a lot of Grinch this year at their store, so you guys could definitely pick something up from there, probably Walmart. I have not been to our Dollar Tree since they put their Christmas out. I hope to pop in there this week. I know they were working on it this weekend, but I'm just going to continue to go around this wreath, pulling the poofs out and zip tying them and pulling the poofs out and then zip tying them again until I get to the end of that Deco mesh roll. So basically, I just really want to cover the entire wreath form. The next thing I want to do is take 2 more rolls again, but this time I'm going to make some oversized loopy bows. So you take the Deco mesh, loop it over on itself to make a giant bow. It looks a little bit messy and sloppy, but it's going to fill in the little spaces where you zip tied the original ruffle of the mesh. And I'm telling you, this is the fastest way to make a quick Deco mesh wreath. It may not be the most precise way. You can do it in many ways, but this is just a little hack for me to use. So what you're going to do is, again, you're just going to keep making those little poofs. So they're just giant poofs. You take the Deco mesh, you loop it over on itself, and then you tie it off with a zip tie. And I want to do that and go around the entire wreath form again and fill in more holes. And again, I used 5 rolls of the Dollar Tree Deco mesh, and I'm just going to kind of fluff it out as I go. Trust the process. It looks a little crazy right now, but I promise you with mesh, it's very forgiving, and you're going to kind of see what happens in the end. So continue to make those little poofs. And now we're at the end, and we're just going to make one more set of little poofs. And this time I'm using that red Deco mesh. If I'm being totally honest with you, when I found the Deco mesh at the Dollar Tree, I didn't have much choices in color, so it was this green and red, which is fine. We're going to make it work and make it cute and Christmassy and have fun with it. So again, I'm just going to go around the entire wreath, but this time, because I only have a little bit of red, I want to kind of just make like poofs in more of an organized format, and I'm just filling in the holes from, where I can just kind of see that it looks a little sparse, because I don't want it to be sparse. The next thing I want to do is take some ribbon. I'm using this buffalo check plaid ribbon. I grabbed this from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to cut it in 12-inch pieces, and then I'm also using this Dollar Tree plaid ribbon, and I'm going to take the 2 ribbon pieces and just zip tie them into the mesh, kind of where those little red bow areas are, and then fluffy duffy them out. And I cut about 6 to 7 strips, and I'm just going to kind of go around the wreath and evenly distribute those strips. So I hope that makes sense. Comment down below if you guys have questions, but don't make the Deco mesh harder than it is. You really just want to have fun with it. It's going to be poofy and fluffy and fun and very forgiving. I promise you, I was always so nervous to work with Deco mesh, and I'm telling you guys, try it out, go for it. I always encourage you also to buy one extra roll if you can, because sometimes especially the Dollar Tree rolls, will have less or more mesh than you anticipated. Now I'm going to use this Home for the Holidays sign, and I'm just going to tie that in to my cute little wreath. Now, no wreath of mine would be a wreath of mine without a bow. We're going to take this ribbon, measure it from our hand to our elbow, super easy bow, and loop it over on itself 6 times. We're going to make a nice big fluffy bow for our wreath. I love big fluffy bows on my wreath. So then once I have that done, I'm going to trim that off. And then I do want to add coordinating plaid ribbon to that. So I'm going to use this plaid ribbon. I'm going to take it and loop it over on itself and make it a little bit smaller than my original ribbon. And that way you can kind of see both ribbons. And then once I have that looped over on itself several times, and I think I used the majority of this Dollar Tree roll. So loop it over on itself 6 times. That's going to give you 3 poofs on either side. Okay, and then you're going to stack that ribbon. And then once you stack it, you're going to find the center and just cut little prongs on either side. And then for this one, I'm just going to take a zip tie and tie that off in the center. I also wanted to use the rest of that ribbon roll and go ahead and tie the tail on, because I want to have some cute little tails for this. And then I'm going to tie it to the top of the wreath. I hope that makes sense. If you guys need any bow ideas, I have a ton of bow videos. I've been trying to post them, every other day on my Facebook, so you guys can really know and get the gist of the bows and include them in multiple videos in my Christmas series. And if you guys haven't watched my Christmas series, go back and watch it. It's lots of fun. I've even put in some new and old content and just kind of try to mix things up and even give myself a little bit of a break here and there. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the top of our wreath, and I think it looks super duper fun. How fabulous. And it really was only a couple bucks. Okay, maybe about $15, but I think it came out really cute. And again, you can play with the mesh and fluffy up those ribbons and use the colors that you love for your home decor. So this is fun and fabulous on a total budget. For this next DIY, let's create a Christmas wreath, and I'm going to share with you my take on a pretty woodland theme. So I found this grapevine wreath at the thrift store for $4, and then I had this greenery left over in my craft stash, so I just hot glued the greenery and added in some zip ties in and around the grapevine base to add in the greenery, and I added my little Dollar Tree deer to the side over there. Now this deer was in the Dollar Tree Plus section, and I'm also going to add in this giant ornament that we made using those Mackenzie-Childs napkins. The next thing I want to do is add in some Dollar Tree Christmas trees. I added one to the bottom of my grapevine wreath base, and then I also added one to the top, and I used lots of hot glue and then just took the evergreen that we had added and zip tied onto the wreath and crossed the evergreen branches over on that. If you guys have any wobbling with your evergreen branches or your Christmas trees, just add a little bit of glue and zip tie. The next thing I'm adding in is just some greenery. Found that at Dollar Tree. And then I'm going to take and make a loopy bow. You're just going to take a loop, pinch your fingers together, and add another loop. Super simple little bow here. You guys can tell my fingers are a little bit struggling. I recently had some problems with carpal tunnel, but it seems like it's getting better. So maybe it was just some inflammation. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and zip tie my little loopy bow together. And then I saw some burlap and I thought, you know what? This is a woodland theme wreath. So let's add in some burlap to kind of make it a little bit more rustic. And I'll also bring in those undertones of the Mackenzie-Childs giant ornament that we DIY'd that I added into the center. And I added that ornament into the center with a zip tie. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and zip tie my bow into my wreath. And you guys can add some glue too. And that way your bow is not going to go anywhere if you were to put this outside. I'm going to add my little kind of gold bow on top of that. And this gold ribbon came from Walmart. I'm going to tell you guys that I recently went shopping at Walmart and I was in the Christmas section and I felt like they had some really pretty ribbon for Walmart. I was actually pretty impressed and loaded up a bunch in my cart, and then I behaved and put a bunch of it back and just grabbed a couple different ribbons. Now I'm going to take a scrap ribbon. This is Mackenzie-Childs ribbon, and I cut this off of another project that I had left over from a couple Christmases back, and I'm just going to add that into the center of this ribbon. I ordered my Mackenzie-Childs ribbon off the website Mackenzie-Childs, or I order off of Amazon, depending on how quickly I need it. So here's how things are looking so far. Now I'm going to take and add in some burlap ribbon and some gold ribbon. I'm just going to take the evergreen branches and cross them over on themselves and just simply kind of make two poofs and move that up the edge of my wreath. I felt like hindsight 2020, this thick ribbon might have been a little bit too much and covered up a little bit too much evergreen, but I kept working with it and I ended up having to add in a little bit more greenery. So just a little side note, maybe try to use a little bit of a smaller ribbon next time. I guess that's a side note for me or you guys if you're making a wreath similar to this. Now I'm going to take in some of these gold ornament balls, and these are just ornaments I had left over. I did a really big glam Christmas tree last year, so I have a lot of gold and white ornaments left over, so you'll see that in some of my decor this year. But I'm thinking I'm going to do also some classic Christmas and bring some reds back in. And I also have a lot of Candyland ornaments left over from 2 years back when I did my big peppermint candy tree. So I'm going to use that in my kitchen too. I'm just adding in some more Dollar Tree ornaments. I had these really pretty kind of rustic, but they have gold on them, and then some smaller ornament balls. And then those Mackenzie-Childs inspired ornaments that we painted a couple videos back. You guys go check out those videos. And then I just continued to add in some ornaments. And then I did decorate Mr. Deer, which I shared with you guys in a different video on how to decorate the deer. The next thing I'm going to do is take a big piece of gold ribbon and I wrap that around my wreath, but I added a little zip tie to make like a hanger hook so it would stay on there nice and good. And then I just put a nail at the top of my little arched window here, and then I just tied it on to the top of that. You guys probably don't want to see me up on a ladder after me breaking my ankle in January, falling off of a ladder. Gosh, I can't imagine. It's a good thing I wasn't on camera when I was on the ladder back in January. Anyway, this is just a little step stool, so I'm pretty sturdy. I'm just going to make a quick little bow and then tie off the trims. But that's how I hung this big, beautiful wreath. And I think this is going to be a really pretty wreath for in my studio. So right now we're in my Christmas crafting studio. It's actually my garage. I had a helper help me paint it and make it look like the inside of my home. So when you guys are watching it, makes you guys feel that cozy feeling of being inside my home. But when I'm in my studio, I can create a big old mess and then just walk away from it or come back to it. Because when I first started on YouTube, I was crafting and I was making giant messes in my dining room and kitchen. And so anyway, I turned half of my garage into my Christmas crafting studio, or my crafting studio. Right now we're doing Christmas videos. So I hope you guys love this and are inspired. I think it's beautiful. It's very rustic and woodland and glam all together. So let me know what you guys think. I like to do artistic pieces, so they can be a little bit over the top. You guys can always add more or less depending on what you love, but I think it's nice and full and happy and kind of a beautiful centerpiece for this space. I wanted to go neutral since it is a little bit early for Christmas, and that way if you guys are still into fall and then after Christmas there are more neutral colors. So fun and fabulous, fun and budget. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I want to show you guys how to make a super awesome jumbo Christmas wreath using pooled noodles, a hula hoop, and some duct tape, and a little bit of fluff for the bows on top. Now listen, what you guys want to do is grab a hula hoop from the Dollar Tree and 2 pooled noodles, or 1 depending upon what size your hula hoop is. They actually do have different sizes. Cut into the pooled noodle just a line down the very center till you get to the little center prong, and then you can just take and wrap that around your hula hoop. Bam! We are on our way to making a huge, awesome jumbo wreath. Now, I would suggest this would be a great wreath to use outdoors as well because it's going to be pretty weatherproof. You're going to do the same thing with the other pool noodle. Just cut that string right down the center and then latch it on to your hula hoop. And again, bam, now you have a very, very large wreath to kind of play with. Now for this one, I wanted to just take some red duct tape, and I think I grabbed this at Walmart. Dollar Tree has duct tape, but you might want to grab the Walmart duct tape because there's a lot on the roll and you'll get more bang for your buck. In fact, I did duct tape Christmas presents last year, so that was a fun one. So you're just going to take and basically wrap the duct tape around the pool noodle, and if you want to make it really cute and kind of candy striped like this one, you'll just leave a little bit of room with the white showing through. Now try not to get frustrated. Your duct tape might be a little bit bubbly here and there, but it's really not the end of the world. Also, the duct tape is going to help the pool noodle kind of secure onto the hula hoop a little bit better. I've done these before and shared them with you guys, and you can also add burlap around them, or you could even take some Christmas tree evergreen garland and do that as well. So now that we have our wreath base complete, we're going to make a super adorable little Dollar Tree bow. Take your ribbon and measure it from your hand to your elbow, and that's going to give you 12 inches, and just take that ribbon, loop it over on itself till you get to the end of the roll if you want to make a big, nice, fluffy bow like I am. And then if you have any other ribbon, I had this cute little candy striped ribbon from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to do the same technique here and just take the ribbon and loop it over on itself until I got about 6 times of looping it over on itself, and that's going to give you 3 loops for each side. Trim that off and then pop it into the center of your first bow, and then take a zip tie and zip tie that off. Now this is such an easy bow. Anybody can do this bow, and you know how I know? Because I'm totally bow challenged and I love big bows. I cannot lie. Anyway, take those ribbon loops and pull those out. You can take any little scraggly ends, cut those off, or you can just kind of curl them into the rest of the bow, which I always leave all of my ribbon ends on, and just give it a good fluffy, and it's just going to make it a little bit fuller. And then you can take and attach that with another piece of ribbon. And also, if you're going to be putting this outside, you might want to add a zip tie to the base, and then cover up the zip tie with some ribbon. Give your bows another good fluffing once you get them onto your project. That's always something I recommend. Now I'm going to take some of this Dollar Tree Deco mesh, and I'm going to take and make a big Deco mesh bow. So again, same thing here. You just take the Deco mesh, loop it over on itself to where it makes a big, giant, fluffy bow. I feel like we had such big, giant bows back in the 90s, and I am a 90s lady, you guys. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side, and all I did to secure that underneath my smaller bow, as you guys can see, is adding a zip tie, and bam, we have a huge, massive, giant bow on our 2.5 foot little hula hoop wreath here, and it's about 2.5 foot with the bow. So you know, it's like that bow, it's that big hair, big bow. I don't know, there was a saying about it back in the 90s. Anyway, I hope you guys are loving this and are totally inspired. And comment down below, expensive Dollar Tree wreath using the Dollar Tree splatter screen. So I removed the center part of that splatter screen, and then I'm going to take this piece of thrift store lace and hot glue the lace in and around this center part of the little splatter screen here. So you want to be careful with this if you're using lace, because the hot glue does kind of come through and can burn your fingertips. You can also get those little fingertip covers at your local craft store or the Dollar Tree. So I'm finishing up adding the lace around the center part of this, and this is just to kind of cover up the fact that it is a splatter screen. These are really great to do if you love a little bit of that kind of rustic farmhouse or Victorian kind of just a fun look. And I think they're just really pretty. And you guys can do these in different ways. Okay, so I trimmed off the excess lace, and here is what I have. And then I'm taking some of this greenery. I had this greenery left over from a wedding that I helped decorate for, and I just cut 2 pieces. And then I took a little X-Acto knife. Well, actually, it was just a stick knife, I believe, actually. And I just poked little holes in the sides of the lace and the splatter screen. And then I'm running zip ties through those spaces to add in and really secure those pieces of greenery down. Dollar Tree also has some amazing greenery. You guys could also use evergreen greenery if you're doing this for Christmas. But I feel like this greenery could kind of even go for Christmas. Now I'm using this gather sign, which is definitely going to be something that you could use for your kitchen or for a Thanksgiving decor idea, or just gather. I mean, gather's fun. Okay, I painted it this pretty kind of grayish color, and then I'm taking this Dollar Tree twine, and I'm just going to take the twine and just kind of secure the gather sign onto here. And I'm using the same spot where I had zip tied the greenery on, and that covered up those zip ties. And so it's kind of doing double duty. Now from the Dollar Tree, I'm using this fall ribbon. I'm just going to take and make a quick, easy loopy bow. So you just take the ribbon, loop it over on itself, and then use a piece of twine to tie that off in the center and to add on to our little easy DIY wreath. And this is so inexpensive, you guys, and such a great way to make like an alternative on just your regular wreath decor idea. And I feel like it gives it just kind of that homey feel with the gather and the greenery, and then this cute little fall ribbon. And honestly, this ribbon I also use during Christmas because it does have the red and white check. It's actually like a red and cream check. And think about this. So this fall ribbon from Dollar Tree goes for Christmas, Valentine's Day, and fall. So here is how it turned out. I think it's really adorable. I think if I went back to do it, I would maybe even add like a little bit of white paint to the gather sign. I don't know, comment and let me know what you guys think about this. But this is a fun, easy idea that you guys can change up to suit your home decor and your DIY. I'm going to share with you all how to make a DIY Dollar Tree winter wreath. We are going to use a Dollar Tree styrofoam wreath base for this, 3 mop duster heads, and then we're also going to use some Dollar Tree snowflake ornaments. These I found in the Christmas section. So to create this wreath, I'm going to use the Dollar Tree styrofoam wreath base, and for that one I just needed 3 of the dusters, and I ended up even cutting one of them in half. I'm going to start out by gluing my duster, my microfiber duster, to the wreath base, and then gently wrap it around. So you're going to have a little bit on the back that's not going to be covered, but that's okay because you're really not going to see that. So you're going to add a layer of glue here in the center, and then as you wrap it around, you're going to kind of want to add another layer of glue towards the back and very gently wrap it around and add glue as you go. Be careful not to burn yourself. Here is how it should look once you have 2 of the microfiber dusters added, and you're just going to continue to add those. And then here is how it looks once you get the last one added, which you're going to have to cut in half. And beware, when you cut these, they make a huge mess. So be ready with a vacuum on hand or a mop and broom. Just a little note for you guys from me to you. I'm going to continue to finish it off by adding more dabbles of hot glue. Make sure you get it all glued on really nice, so it's nice and full and fluffy. And I am telling you what, you guys, these are so fun and fabulous. I was so happy to see the Dollar Tree was carrying these microfiber dusters, because if you love a little glam winter wonderland after Christmas, pick up a few of these, you guys. They're so perfect for glam winter wonderland, or winter wonderland in general. Now the next thing I wanted to do was attach some of these little snowflakes, and these just came in the Christmas section, and they come 2 to a pack, so I'm using 4, and I'm just hot gluing them to my winter wreath, and I'm kind of spacing them evenly around the wreath. And then you guys can really get creative with this part. You can add any color of ribbon to kind of loop around to make a hanger. I decided to go with a cream colored ribbon, and it's going to match my little snowflakes, kind of sticking with the Winter Wonderland theme, but really get creative and match your decor. The other thing I added were some dazzling jewels from totallydazzled.com. You guys know I love Natalie. She's a little small business, so I definitely encourage you to support her. And her jewels are so inexpensive. They're about $1.50 each, so they're really nice and high-end and beautiful, and she has so many different ones to choose from. I'm going to link Natalie's totallydazzled.com website down below for you guys to go check out if you need some really beautiful jewels to craft with. If you don't want to purchase those jewels, you guys could also use some maybe jewelry that you have in your stash, or you could even skip that part, but I think it's a nice little touch if you guys really like that ultra over-the-top fabulous glam look. For this Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to share with you guys how to make a super adorable little Dollar Tree candle ring. So this is actually a Bath & Body Works candle, and I wanted to make something that was really cute to go around this pretty candle. So I'm taking some of these Dollar Tree ornaments. I'm using the small size and then more of like the smaller size, so maybe the medium size and then the small size. And I think there's actually a mini size ornament, which they come in a giant tube. So anyway, I just use white and gold all the way around. And I will tell you, as I hot glued, I had to hold the ornaments together for just a bit. So be patient, put a little show on. The next thing I wanted to do to cover up the little base of the ornament and to kind of also give them a little bit more security was add some of this little Dollar Tree green garland. So I'm just hot gluing that to the bottom of this, and that's going to give it a little bit more security, stability, and also cover up the weird gluey spots from all of my gluing. And then once I have that done, I'm just going to go ahead and flip that back over, and look how adorable it looks. I went to add a little bit of razzle dazzle, so I'm taking these pearls that I found at the thrift store, and I'm just going to hot glue them in and around the ornaments, and that's going to give it a little bit of pizzazz. Of course, this is a little bit optional. You guys can also use some little Dollar Tree mini Christmas trees, or really any type of little goodie that you have on hand. You could add in mini pine cones, little snowflakes, just whatever suits your fancy. Here is how it looks so far. And then I got the idea to put in some little mini ornaments in and around the base that were a shiny gold to give it a little bit of contrast. So we have the glitter, and then the white kind of glittered ornament, the pearls, and then I wanted to give it a little bit of contrast, so I'm adding these pretty little gold balls, and I think it's looking just about perfect now. And again, this does take a little bit of time with all of the gluing, but just be patient, and you know, it's a pretty forgiving craft and pretty beginner friendly, honestly, except for the amount of gluing that you guys do have to do. And I would have some type of evergreen to add into the base. I will tell you that that made it a lot easier. Also, I realized once I got done with this, hey, this could be a wreath. So if you guys want to make a mini one of these, you guys could easily make a little wreath, especially if you had a little mini wreath form like the ones that they sell at Dollar Tree. So I put my little Bath & Body Works candle in. The kids got me this for my birthday, and it is so smell goody. I have these little thrift store trees, and then my daughter got me the little white sparkling deer also for my birthday. She knows how much I love Christmas. So precious, and just such a blessing to have my whole family together. And to be cracked on pretty late. We're actually home from the pep rally that I was telling you guys about earlier in this video, and he's not really up for showing out or showing off. He loves to sit right back behind me while I edit my video. So I'm just finishing this video up for you guys. But Benji Bear is right here. Benji Bear, say hi. Remember in my home tour, I showed you guys how he was peeking out the window. This is his window. He doesn't even like for me to touch the curtains. Anyway, roof to all the puppy dog and kitty cat fans out there, and go team. My daughter is on homecoming court, so it's really, really exciting. But anyway, I love y'all. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. It's a true blessing and honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I am Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home. I love to share with you guys how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget. I truly believe that you don't have to break the bank to have a fabulous, amazing home. For everybody that has been along with me on this YouTube journey, I thank you all so much. Your love, comments, prayers, just your kind community support really truly means the world. And the other day I just posted about something that I was going through, just, my heart was feeling a little bit heavy, and I was reminded by a sweet friend that we are victorious in God over our past pain and heartbreak. And sometimes that is quite a journey, and I just posted about that, and you guys shared so many amazing prayers, so many sweet messages. So thank you guys so much. I am a DIY crafty mama, and it's me, this little garage studio, and my camera, and you guys. So you guys help drive this whole community. And I read comments where people were saying that, you guys had binge watched my videos during hard pregnancies or losses. And so, hey, just remember, I go through stuff, you guys go through stuff, so let's be kind and loving in this community, because there's already so much junk going on out there in this world. We don't want to add to any of that. We want to lift everybody up. So thank you guys for reminding me that I'm here to share my light. So that's what I've always wanted to do with you guys, and I'm going to continue to do that until my last breath, I think. I love to craft and decorate, and like even in this video, painting checks for some reason. The pattern of it, I think because I know what to expect, gives me so much like peace and just rest and relax in my soul. So grab some Dollar Tree goodies and get to painting. And hey, I started out painting these and they were terrible, and I still have a long way to go, but you guys give me grace and give yourselves grace. So anyway, whatever you guys going through, I pray for you guys. I love you. I can't wait for our next video. I'm going to be starting my I Love Christmas series really soon, once I get my studio cleaned up and everything back in order. So until our next video, remember, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye. Love y'all.